I'll start by introducing Michaela. Michaela Fissel is a young adult in long-term recovery from a primary diagnosis of bipolar disorder and is the director of Join Rise B, a young adult advocacy group that is housed at Toivo by Advocacy Unlimited. She was a research consultant on this project, as Margaret stated.
Thank you. Again, my name is Michaela, and I am a person in long-term recovery from a primary diagnosis of bipolar disorder. Since achieving recovery about 7 years ago, I found that I have a tendency to speak more about my accomplishments while in recovery than the history that preceded the turning point in my life. So over the past year and a half, I've really thought about this, and I've started to recognize that most people will begin caring about the genuine well-being of others, but at some point, those same people begin to, become fearful of others who they might find different. So early in 2013, when I really started to think about this, it was when I was really watching the news, and I started seeing the term mentally ill come up more and more in headlines and on television, and I realized that it is easy to write off individuals who experience mental health or substance use. And it's easy to call them crazy, as addicts, even as mentally ill or psycho, or using other derogatory terms or associations. And it seems like it's simply to classify someone as everything you will never become. However, I think that people forget that struggling is simply a part of the human condition. Just because I struggled a bit more than you, or in reality, maybe we all struggle and I just didn't have the same social supports growing up, or I didn't have the same access to services, or maybe the people in my life were never even given information about community-based resources that would have been able to help me to move past the struggles that I had, and not even maybe even achieve recovery. But I know now I'm grateful for my recovery, and it's a huge part of who I am. So as you might be wondering why this is relevant, it's relevant because I was the poster child for the picture of mental illness as it is portrayed in movies like Girl Interrupted. And I think maybe if you think about Charlie Sheen without the publicity. I reference this individual because he chose to be public about his situation and to provide you with a reference point. With that said, I'm here today with two asks before I get into my story. I hope that you will walk away with, one, a mental image of what recovery looks like, and two, a resource to refer anyone you might believe would benefit from gaining information about mental health and wellness. In an effort to speak about my time before my recovery, I've decided to read you a poem I wrote after speaking to Vered a few days ago about my fears related to being judged. Thank you, Vered, for listening. I really appreciate the space that you gave me. I feel a lot more balanced. So here we go. Once upon a time, not too long ago, there was a little girl who was full of sorrow and woe. Mistreated, neglected, and abused. Nothing seemed to make sense. I was wandering lost and confused. As time progressed, the secrets kept growing, a cloud of poison, putrid, dark, consuming. As she barely held on for the ride, the mountain of life steepened. She continued to climb. Looking back for a moment, she thought, I must be exaggerating this pain. Yet in the memory of her innocence being stripped away, who wouldn't be brought to their knees, broken, insane? Despite the turmoil, the anxiety, the rage, bystanders could only look on, misinformed, ill-equipped, unable to gauge the seriousness of Act 2, childhood only setting the stage. When adolescence hit, it soon became apparent. Self-mutilation, damaging, erratic. I can recall the confusion, the paranoia, the shame, and so many emotions exploding in my brain. Looking back, I get mad that no one acknowledged. I was walking along the edge of a ledge, death seeming my only option. I want to scream sometimes, hello, wake up. I've lost all my friends, I'm using drugs, I'm bulimic, I'm skipping school, I'm testing my luck. I've come quite a ways, and I ask my friends now, why didn't you help? And they say they didn't know how. What else could they do than run away? They were scared, disappointed, and were told, she'll grow out of it one day. Well, I'm here to share, fortunately as living proof, that not everybody gets over it, and that's the truth. When no one stepped up to lend me a hand, I laid down, wrote a letter, and made a plan. To be clear, I'm not here to bring you to tears. I am here to let you know that it's okay to have fears. It's just, there's a lot of work to be done. So I ask, please begin by challenging your own point of view. It is clear why it matters. Our future depends on you. So within the last probably 20 seconds I have up here, here's what my life has been like since achieving recovery. I finished my undergrad and went to grad school. I am a mother of 3 and happily married. I'm now working in my dream job at Toivo by Advocacy Unlimited, leading a peer-run grassroots initiative called Join Rise B, which is an organization for young people in recovery who wish to share their experience to influence change. Over the last year and a half, I've worked on the project that we're all here today about, and specifically, I was the research consultant. Turning Point CT is an example of the beauty that comes from including young people with lived experience in the planning process. As the researcher who engaged young people around the state in conversations about what they thought about technology and mental health, I couldn't be more impressed that everything from the content to the design is a direct reflection from those focus group findings. This is my challenge. I ask you to consider whether it is possible that part of the reason why young people are not achieving recovery like I have, some of us are, is because young people are not involved in the planning and decision-making process, so the services do not authentically reflect our experiences. So if any of you are involved in planning and decision-making around young adult services in that area, I would ask you to maybe reach out to Join Rise B and Connecticut Turning to Youth and Families as a resource, because we're out there and we are ready and willing to help. Thank you.